Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Aishah Nazihah binti Mohamad Nawi, 1171049. Today, I will present on my research, which is exploring the experience of learning style among usim student in online learning environment due to MCO COVID-19. So, for the problem statement in my research is, as we know, on 18 March 2020, the Prime Minister gave an order that Malaysia will do movement control order due to COVID-19 and all people need to stay at home. Because of that, starts 1st June, all university students need to do online class, either through Zoom, Microsoft 365 or others, but not all students have the convenient place, good internet connection and good tools like laptop for join online class. In addition, every student have different style in learning, which is either visual, auditory, read or write, or kinesthetic. So, because of MCO, students need to do the online class, and it makes students need to do the adaptation on their learning style, because learning process in the traditional process, which is face-to-face, is very different with online learning. So that's why this research want to explore more on how students do the adaptation on their learning style when they face with online learning. Next, for the research question. For this research, there are two research questions. First, what the experience of learning style that usim students face in online learning environment due to MCO COVID-19. Second is how usim students adapt with the process of online learning environment due to MCO COVID-19 based on their learning style. And for the research objective, there are two research objectives. First, to explore an experience of learning style that usim students face in online learning environment due to MCO COVID-19. Second is to identify on way of usim students adapt with the process of online learning environment due to MCO COVID-19 based on their learning style. Next, for definition of term. For definition of term, I will give three terms, which is learning style and online learning. So first, for the learning, based on Leishman 1997 cited in March 2030, said definition of learning refer to learning as a change or in behavior that is due to experience. 2070 said that learning is the primarily cognitive activity. It is likely to be influenced by the style of learners which they choose while they learn. Therefore, learning can be defined as a changing behavior of the person because of something happened in a person's life. Other than that, learning can be said cognitive functioning that will be influenced by the learners itself. Second is learning style. Based on Golnas 2080, said that learning aptitude or style are learners' unique way of grasping, processing, and internalizing academic information. Then, Soundarya 2070 said that the term of learning style refer to the learner's way to perceive, process, and retain the information in terms of their sensory modality. Therefore, learning style can be defined as the way of a person grab and process of the information that they get when they face with some environment or situation, for example like movement control order. Third is online learning. Online learning can be defined as courses in which all of the instruction or material are presented online, blended or hybrid. Course incorporate face-to-face meeting with online delivery in which 30 to 80% of course material is delivered online. This is based on Alien and Seaman 2011, cited in Kaufman 2050. Therefore, Online learning can be said one of the applications that the person can use in which all the material will get from web or internet, and that the learner can get it in on their pace, which is everywhere and anytime based on their learner's preference. Next is literature review. For this research, researcher also refer to the several previous articles so that the researcher will get the information or knowledge about the topic before go further for the research. So, for the presentation, I will explain on 3 articles that I provide in the proposal. First is from the Julie Tonsemeyer 2030 that titled on an examine of online instructional practices based on the learning style of graduate education student. For this article, the author provide 3 research questions. First is what type of online instructional practices do graduate students with various learning style prefer? Second is how are the various learning style of graduate education student relate to the online instructional practice preference. Third is how do graduate education students describe their online learning experience. And the fourth, what suggestion or idea or do online graduate education students have regarding online instructional practices that can address the various learning style. So for this article, the author use mixed method, which is qualitative and quantitative. For quantitative, the author refer to VAC questionnaire, and for the qualitative, the author refer to the interview. The participate for this research is 82, which is 62 answer VAC questionnaire and 22 the researcher interview through the phone call. So, finding of this article is from the VAC questionnaire, 45% refer to the visual learner and 80% refer to multimodal, which is being able to match on whatever instructional practices. Second literature review is from Mohamad 2011 for that title Exploring Egyptian EFL Students Learning Style and Satisfaction with Web-Based Material. For this article, the author provide 2 research objectives, which is to examine student learning style and satisfaction with online learning, and the relationship between learning style and online learning, and and student gender. This article use quantitative research, which is referred to Perceptual Learning Style Preferences Questionnaire, PLS-PQ. Finding for this article is kinesthetic, tactical and visual were the learning style and participant favor when working with web-based material, and students seem multimodal learners, and the study show the gender did not have the significant effect on learning style. And the last for the literature review from Yu Chih Doris Sheikh, Yu Chih Liu and Claudia Sanchez 2030 that title Online Learning Style Preferences and Analysis on Taiwanese and USA Learners. For this article, researcher was provided 2 research questions. First is what is the preferences of online learning style of Taiwanese and American students respectively, and second is which online learning style account for the largest differences in terms of Taiwanese and American students learning preference. For this literature review, The author was used quantitative design, which is referred to inventory of online learning style. Finding for this article is American students prefer more on active learning, and Taiwanese students prefer to learn through visual, auditory and active learning style. So, for the methodology, which is the last topic that I will explain for this presentation. So for the methodology, I will explain on 4 subtopic, which is research design, sampling data, data collection procedure and data analysis. So for the research design, I will use qualitative design, which is phenomenology, and collect data by interview. I will interview five third-year counselling student that face with the online learning environment. And then sampling data. Sampling data, I will use simple random design, which is all third-year counselling student have the tendency to be participate with my research. But like I said just now, I will interview just 5 counselling student that face with the online learning. After that, data collection procedure. For data collection procedure, interview session will be conducted in Faculty Leadership and Management usim that focus to third-year counselling student. Before interview session begin, researcher will give a bit briefing to the participant so that the participant will get an imagine on how the interview will have. Then interview will conduct in semi-structure, which is more to the discussion between the interviewer and interviewee, and the question of the interview will be used on open-ended question, and then the information or data that researcher will get from the interview will be recorded. And then for the data analysis, the recorded interview will transfer to transcript, and then researcher will capture and analyze the suitable information and categorize it under one coding due to the similarities of data. Then based on the coding term, that if there is the match with each other, the researcher will make it as a team, and then researcher will analyze and discuss the team, and researcher will get the new finding based on the what the researcher want to research, which is based on the research objective of the research. So, and that's all from me. Thank you very much.